You don't have to be an athlete to build a strong core. Just master this exercise. Let's break down my 5 favorite variations of side planks. Hi, I'm Dr. Jess, a physical therapist, and I've spent the last 20 years of my career focusing on longevity. So think about it. When you strengthen, you're really good about making sure you strengthen the front of the body and the back of the body. But how many of us think about the sides of our body? And so those are going to be the muscles that are so important to keep us stable when we're on one leg. And why is that important? Because we need that for balance, but also just for the basics of walking and running. That's why side planks are a must-have for everybody's routine. So before we talk about side planks, let's talk about how to do a proper side plank. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with stacking your elbow underneath your shoulders, so that's right in line. I'm going to pull in my belly button. I'm going to squeeze my glutes so that I make one straight line. My shoulder, my hip, my knee, and my ankle are all in one line. From there, I'm going to use the muscles on the side of my body, the side of my trunk, and my glutes to work together to lift my pelvis right off the surface. I go ahead and squeeze my shoulder blades, which is going to make sure that I stay in that nice straight plank position. If I do this wrong, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to forget about my core and I'm going to start to pull in. I'm going to forget about my glutes, and so I'm going to be in this bent position. So I squeeze my glutes and that straightens me right back out again. If I lose the stability through my shoulder, then I'll end up leaning down or I'll roll forward. So I want to make sure that I use all of the stabilizers at once to lift, squeeze the glutes, keep the straight line, squeeze the shoulder blades. That is a plank. If you can't do a full side plank right now, that's okay. Get started on an elevated surface. So you could do the edge of a bed, a countertop, a chair, doesn't matter as long as it's stable. Same idea, you're gonna stack shoulder over the elbow. I'm gonna squeeze my glutes, pull my belly button in, squeeze my shoulder blades. That'll make it nice and straight. Once you can come off of the elevated surface and come down to the floor, you're gonna do a modified side plank by bending the knees, still same position, elbow right under the shoulder. Make sure you squeeze the glutes as you lift so that you're not in this bent position. And then as you get stronger here, you'll be able to eventually push out into the full side plank. Now let's talk about the different variations that you can do. So number 1 is gonna be the low versus the high side plank. The only difference is my elbow bent or is it straight? The minute that I have a straight elbow, I'm going to have more work to my arm that I have to control. So the bent elbow is going to mean that I have less stress to the wrist though. So pros and cons to either. You really just need to do whichever variation works best for you. So bent elbow, less stress to the wrist. But if I want to do more work in my shoulder and in my forearm, then I'm going to go ahead and do a straight arm. Everything else is the same. Shoulders stacked right over the wrist. I'm still going to be using my glutes, my core, and my mid-back. The second variation is changing our side plank from a static side plank, which is what I showed you, where you're just holding one position, to a dynamic side plank, which is where you're doing some form of movement in the side plank. So a common dynamic side plank is where you're going to go ahead and lift, and then you'll just do hip dips, where you kind of lower the hips and then squeeze the glute on that low side to raise back up. So as I'm moving, I'm still stabilizing, but that's what makes it dynamic. Or I could do dynamic with doing some form of a reach through, and as I come back out. Now I'm having to stabilize about the shoulder, that's weight bearing, and I'm having to use my core without letting my hips drop. So now I'm going to get a lot more stabilization through the shoulder and core just because I'm having to control movement and the static posture of the side plank. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you're going to know that I love unstable surfaces because that's where we're going to get even more stabilizing muscles to activate. So I've got a Bosu here. I can do a version of a side plank with a low side plank. And the minute I have this squishy surface, I have to work a lot harder to stabilize. I can do the same exact activity with that higher side plank where I'm going to work on stacking that shoulder and then hold my side plank here. I can also make it a version where I put the surface that's unstable underneath my feet, and it's just going to give me more weight bearing on my shoulder now that my feet are higher than my shoulder, and it's unstable, so you're going to get even that much more work done. Another variation you can do is think about your shoulder on the opposite side that you can do some work for while you're stabilizing on the other side. So if I go into with one piece of equipment, a lightweight, I can raise up and then I can use this weight to help to make sure my upper shoulder is actually now doing some work. If I want to keep my rotator cuff strong, I could just keep my arm by my side and do some external rotation as I'm holding my side plank. And finally, we want to think about, can we get more strength out of our hips while we're doing a side plank? And the answer is yes. So if I go into a modified side plank where I'm really squeezing my glutes to make sure my pelvis is pushed forward, I can then do some clams using a resistance band to get this hip working at the same time as the bottom hip is working. If that's too easy, then just take that band off and then you can work on, same idea, side plank, and work on doing some hip abductions. Notice I'm not letting my bottom hip drop. And then if that gets too easy, you go into the full side plank, and then from there, you want to go ahead and do the hip abductions. Now here's where it gets fun. We can use the concept of our variations and we can combine them together if we're ready for that. So I can use the unstable surface with a challenge to my arm and a challenge to my leg all at the same time. So now when I'm doing my exercise, I'm getting so much done. So I'm stabilizing in my side plank, and then from here I can go ahead and do my hip abductions, and I've got so many muscles working all at once, so I'm gonna get a ton done. Now that you know why side planks are so good for you, you know how to do a proper side plank, and you have 5 great variations, you're never gonna get bored and you'll never plateau. If you wanna know more about the science behind why a core is so good for you, check out this video. And if you want more variations on exercises, subscribe here.